Welcome to the suburbs with Andy and Greg. I don't know how you feel about leaves. Are you a burn or an anti-burn leaf guy?
I'd say probably anti-burn. I mean, if I had the choice to, I probably wouldn't.
If you had the choice to. So you burned?
I do not.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I don't like it. I just don't think it's a good idea. And plus, it's not legal in Carmel anyway.
Right.
And people do it, but I'm.
They wait till dark.
Yeah. no one will know.
I know. I mean, the red glow doesn't. Yeah, that doesn't. The smell either.
Right.
I mean, you could kind of follow the red glow and the smell and find the guy burning
And the fire
leaves.
truck.
Yeah, maybe. They did. My brother caught our fence on fire when we were little. They decided to burn leaves next to a wooden fence.
Really?
Yes.
Not a good idea.
No.
That's-
And my mom tried to put that on me now that she's got dementia.
Yeah.
So she's like, I remember when the fire department was called because you decided to burn leaves next to the wood. That was Tom. That was not me. And you felt so compelled, so thankful that they put out the fence fire that you took them chocolate chip cookies at the...
Were they burned?
The burned chocolate chip cookies.
These are
of course
terrible.
they were. Yeah, these taste like burned leaves. But so anyway, up where she lives, they've got giant oak trees all over the place, and they're beautiful, and they're hundreds of years old. They create a lot of leaves, and it's the country. I mean, it's like out in the middle of nowhere, really, except it's a big lake, so everybody wants to be there in the summer. Nobody's there in the fall and the winter, except people burning leaves. They like almost everybody there is like the county lets you take them to their place and mulch them for free. If you've got a trailer or a truck or you pay a guy, they'll take them, and it doesn't cost you anything.
It's a win-win.
It is a win-win. They mulch them. You can go back in the spring and get the mulch for free.
My mulch.
Yes.
My leaves, my mulch.
Right. Kinda.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be your neighbors. I don't know that they label them. but I hit it with the mulching more, and then I pick it up with the bag, and then I use it to keep the weeds down in the flower gardens. That's what I do with it. I'm not a tree hugger. I like the trees. I like the shade. I think they're pretty, but I'm not going to sit there and chain myself to them if somebody's going to cut one down.
Sure.
Okay. So my next door neighbor, Mike, who's a football Mike is a football coach, high school football coach, and I want your opinion on this.
Okay.
His license plate says head coach. Okay, so what is your take on if you've got a vanity plate that says what you do, what does that tell you about the person?
The mind wanders.
The mind wanders?
Yeah.
To what? Where does it land?
I don't know.
I think he sucks as a coach. I mean, if you've got head coach if you have to tell people that you're the head coach.
Okay, I didn't go there, but that's good.
I mean, really, there was a guy when I was doing stand up. There was a guy that had comic on his license plate. Not funny at all. There was another guy that had a giant square magnet, nationally touring comic, on the side of his car, and not funny. Like, not even close to funny. So anyway, head coach.
Okay, I get it. It could have said sucky coach, but it wouldn't fit.
You'd have to hyphenate. Yeah. It would not work. but anyway, head coach feels like not only is he going to burn the leaves, and keep in mind this county, it's Steuben County in northern Indiana, they let you dump stuff. Like, you have to pay $5 or something, but let's say, and you also have regular trash service. So backing up for a second, just like here, you've got one of those giant bins on wheels, and they automate the trash business,
sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that they've got one guy driving the truck and doing the dumping instead of paying like 3 to ride around. I don't know what that cuts down on, other than pay.
Sure.
I mean, cost. They can't share a joint on their way to, if that's even what do they call it, blunt.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, it was called a joint, but these days it's called a blunt.
I mean, that makes me sound like really old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. So I used that voice yesterday at the Sullivan's Hardware. There's a plug for Sullivan's. I don't know why you have to buy things that come to change anymore. Why can't they just round it?
Everything should be just flat fee.
It should be.
Yeah.
It was however many dollars and 22 cents. And my wife is digging through her purse for change. And I'm like,
Let me get my little change thing, squeeze thing out.
and this woman at a different register looks up and she goes, that's got to be a fake voice. I looked at you and I thought, that can't be your voice.
Let me go to the car and get some change. There's 10 people in line.
Right. It's all over the floor mat.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody.
Do you take pennies?
Yeah. I mean, I don't even think the bank takes pennies anymore.
They don't want them.
No, nobody does.
Yeah.
So anyway, Mike, now out of the season because high school football's over, and so he's burning stuff. And every time, even though they've got the giant trash bin, and you could take stuff for $5, literally 5 minutes away, and dump it. He burns it. And so styrofoam is his favorite thing to burn. And his backyard turns into my side yard, which turns into my cottage. So, and when you burn styrofoam, it is like a roach trying to find places into your house to stink up the house.
Sure. It's awful. It's chemicals.
It's total. I mean, I don't know what to tell him to be nice, to say, can you not burn that chair? I get the fact that you don't want that chair in your living room anymore, but the foam in it is coming into my house. I mean, he's like trying to burn himself to the center of the earth with this molten plastic stuff that looks like a volcano has erupted and it's approaching your house.
Lava flow.
It looks like a lava flow. It does. And he's coming at me with this stuff. And then he's like, and while I'm burning the chair, I'll throw the leaves on top of it.
My leaf story here in Carmel is that 1 week I had leaf bags outside the trash bin because it was like that's what you're supposed to do,
Right.
Up to 22 bags seasonally.
Are you supposed to put a different bow to designate trash over?
No, because I just left them outside. Thinking, okay, well it's all leaves. I can't put them in the bins because they wouldn't fit. So he empties my trash and then he puts all the leaves in the bags and drops them in his big truck. Oh, well, wasn't that clever?
So it's not a separate pickup?
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know the rules. So then the following week I said, okay, well, I'll just put them in the bins. He must have seen them cracked open. He took all the leaves out of the trash bins, and then another truck came around later on that day. So,
yeah.
2 weeks prior, he loaded them
really
on his own, and then the next week he comes and takes them all out.
Okay.
So it's obviously I didn't understand the protocol.
I don't think he did either.
Yeah.
He took them.
Yeah, he must have had that whole blunt to himself that
I
day.
did. Yeah, that's the drawback. See, he could have spread that THC out over 2 more people.
That's right.
But he took it all himself.
So I just like, well, that was weird. Why
Yeah.
is he taking my trash out? But because he obviously knew that another truck was coming that day, but I didn't. So
Right. You didn't get the memo.
no, I did not.
Okay. So up there,
You're talking about recycling or trash?
trash.
Trash. Oh, trash is trash, I think.
Trash is trash. I mean, I get the fact
don't
that
want it.
concrete blocks aren't supposed to be in there.
Doesn't matter. As long as that machine can pick it up, who cares?
The truck, it hurts the truck. As a guy whose brother had the raised trash service or Republics of the world, you're not supposed to put construction waste in
I'm
the
sure
trash.
it's in the fine print on their website. I'm sure it says so. It just doesn't say
Well,
trash.
I know you didn't read it
just
because you were
doesn't-
throwing
It just says
leaves
trash is
away.
trash is their motto.
I agree with that. I mean, I don't think I'm going to put the old weight set in there. That's probably going someplace else.
Yeah, recycled.
Probably. So I'm out there doing the leaves and I'm mulching them and I'm trying to figure out which mulching method is going to be the most efficient for me because I've got my yard in Indy and my mom's yard and they're both, I don't live on an estate, but there's a lot of leaves. I like trees. Now, Keely's dad liked trees too until he got old. And then it's like,
I swear to God, I don't see damn trees and their leaves.
and he's the guy that planted them and they were great.
Whose
And-
idea was this?
Right. And then he got to the point where he was angry about everything and he cut them all down because he didn't want to deal with the leaves in the fall. Picture in your mind an ocean. You should know this because your parents live down in Florida. They migrated.
They did.
And so if you know the shoreline and you've got those wooden posts with a light on the wooden posts, so they're like pilings.
Sure.
And they're staggered in height. So there's 3 of them together. You got the tall one, the medium, and the short one. And then there's a light at the top. And it's supposed to, and I know they're doing it because it's a lakefront, but it's not real it's something that you buy at the dollar store. You know, I don't even know. His Gaines came out and he's like, I need to have that. And it's like fake pilings with a little light on the top that's triggered by, it's powered by solar.
Are they in the water or are they in his yard?
They're in the yard.
Or in the yard.
Yes.
they're not. They're just.
Yeah. And then
they're faux.
They're as faux as it gets. They're not pho. They're faux. So I'm doing this leaf vacuum that shreds the leaves, and my nephews stand there and I go, would you throw this in the trash can? And he's like, sure. And so he goes over, he throws it, and so then I fast forward to on my way here, and I'm talking to my sister, and she goes, hey, I'm not sure that the trash company is going to take that piling light thing that you threw away. And I go, and I go, why? And she said, well, I'm not sure that counts as trash. I go, oh, it counts as trash. It's hot garbage.
Yeah.
That's how trashy it is. I mean, it was trashy when he bought it. So I said, well, where are you seeing that? And she's like, it's in the trash can. And I said, I threw that away the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And she goes, well, he must have pulled it out and thrown it back in. And I thought, well, all of the Thanksgiving bags of trash were on top of that thing. That's how close they were up there. Because I don't think, unless there was so much coagulated, thrown away gravy from Thanksgiving that somehow seeped out of a bag and is now laying in the bottom of the trash can, that it like stuck like glue to the bottom when it was dumped upside down.
I don't know.
He pulled that out.
He probably
went through
thought,
everything.
Nobody would ever want to throw this away. This has got to be a mistake.
Oh, this is gold.
Gold, Jerry.
Right. But he did. He somehow, I mean, he's like the Nazi guy that isn't smoking a blunt. He's the one guy not getting high in the truck and paid attention to the piling thing that I threw away. So you know where it is now?
Back in the trash.
It's in a trash bag with trash on top of it, disguised.
You could outsmart these guys.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
he's going to have to go through the entire bags of trash to throw that back out.
People throw away all kinds of stuff they shouldn't.
Oh, sure they
in
do.
Recycling.
Well, you're not supposed to put you're not supposed to put them in a bag and put it in the recycling.
That's true. That's true. But
Right.
I mean, just the random stuff that comes down the line. You can just imagine the bizarro stuff.
I think there's so many lazy people. I think so. Okay, here's lazy: buying canned gravy, and they make it. It's in a jar.
Sure.
Okay, I don't think that's right.
That's right.
Bloop, 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 bloop. Yep.
Time to eat.
Right. Got to heat it up first
Of course.
in the microwave. You can't do it. I mean, if you're that lazy, you're not
Stovetop.
putting it on the stove. You're microwaving it in some kind of like did your grandmother ever keep like country crock stuff and reuse the country crock as a Tupperware?
No. Oh, the butter dishes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody does.
She even used styrofoam meat trays again. Like from the ground beef would be
Doesn't
on.
she know she's supposed to burn those?
No, at Mike's house she would, but she didn't know Mike. That's the other grandma.
Oh, see?
Yeah,
Didn't get the memo.
down where everybody burned their trash. Down in Greene County, Indiana,
Yeah.
they didn't have trash service down there.
Burn it all.
You burn it all. You do. And so, yeah. So that was like a nightly event for my granddad, was to take the paper bag of plastic trash and burn it in a specific
barrel.
bin.
Yeah,
Yes.
burn barrel.
Right.
There you go.
55-gallon drum. Formerly probably pesticides.
Probably.
Yeah.
You drop that piling in there, burn that too.
He could have. Yeah, and that's what my sister wanted to do. She's like, well, is there any metal in it? Because I can take it to my farm and burn it. I go, well, yeah, there's metal in it because it was a light. I mean, maybe that's plastic, but there was wiring in it. I mean, and I'm not saying so don't burn the wiring. I wouldn't. It's plastic coating on top of the wiring. But and it sounds like I'm chaining myself to the tree again. I mean, I keep hearing myself say this, and I feel like I'm the guy chained to the tree. But I just don't want to breathe that. So going back to Mike, I kind of want to make him. I want to go in there. If he wasn't a football coach, I would go in there and grab him by the neck and take him out and make him take a big bong hit of that noxious, fumy, burning styrofoam smell that he's sending into my house.
Right. Well, he's inside where it's safe.
I think they had their windows open.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It
was a nice day.
It's a nice day.
I mean, breathe that deep. Breathe it in like a hit from a graphics bong, and then feel the tumors growing in your lungs, because that's what it is. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do with your personal life. I'm just saying when it comes over into my house, it becomes an us thing.
Sure.
It's a we.
That's right.
And don't do that. I mean, just come on. Just don't do that.
I think I'm growing a third eye.
Are you right now?
Dude.
Because of my story,
Yes.
It's gone so long.
Yeah, that's right. No, because of the noxious fumes.
Unbelievable. I mean, the guy, like, they go through, I think it's because of his size, they go through furniture, because I see them unpackaging the furniture. And it's like you can't possibly.
Are they on a subscription for furniture?
What is that?
Amazon?
Right. Kind of like Green Chef.
Yeah, one time where I want to get furniture every 4 weeks.
Right. And then just send back the stuff you don't want.
That's right.
Yeah, maybe they are. I don't know. And so
Burn the old, bring in the new.
they do. It's like what? And the stuff it's like the stuff that the trash company doesn't take, because you see out on the street the bin on wheels, and then there's always something else next to it that won't fit in the bin at their place. I mean, how can you possibly? I see their house. Where are they keeping all this stuff? Is it like, do they have a whole room dedicated to just every week we need to pull something out of this room and set it next to the dumpster?
We had, speaking of furniture, we had a neighbor had, he had a couple chairs. He was trying to get rid of a couple folding chairs. And, it's kind of like, if it fits, it's trash.
Yeah.
And so he put these chairs in the first week. He had it down under so like an angle where when the guy dumped, like it got just stuck in there. So it's like it never came out. Okay, so week 2, he said, okay, so I'm going to hang him on the side of the trash can. So the guy picked it up. I was looking out the window, and the guy picked it up and dumps it, and one fell in, and one got hung on his like crane of his machine.
Oh, yeah.
And so he had to get out of his truck.
Ugh.
He had this big rake on a big stick that he's jamming up into this thing to make the chair fall out, which fell on the ground, back in his truck, and drove away.
And just left it there.
Yeah, left. So one gone,
One
down,
not
one
my
to go.
problem.
Yeah, one down, one to go. So I assume they probably put the following week, put it in the trash can, I guess.
You never saw the chair again.
But it was just laying in the street next to the.
For how long?
Oh, till they got home and said, chair.
Oh, see, if this was Mike, it would have been there until the next trash day.
Oh, yeah. Well,
A week.
Yeah, this is Carmel.
Right.
Yeah, so, we have. Remember
So they've
that.
got somebody that drives around every day
Looking for
making
extra
sure
trash.
you're following the rules.
Extra trash.
Measuring the height of your mailbox.
Well, they measure the grass.
Do they?
They do, yeah. If somebody starts getting, if they're delinquent in their lawn mowing or not giving care, they'll come out and this girl comes in a little white car, and we had a neighbor that was playing this game, I don't care, at my yard. And she had a little ruler and takes a picture.
Wow. So,
And
okay,
sends
so
them,
like.
and sends them some sort of a nasty gram. you know?
Nice.
Yeah, so.
Oh, that should be public.
Yeah.
That should be published.
Yes.
So how high does the grass have to be before they send the girl? Is she in an electric car? Is she in a golf cart?
No, she said no. She may be an electric car. You never know. She
It
drives-
should be. I mean, it's Carmel.
Her white little car drives up, and she got out with her little ruler and her little camera.
So how long was the grass? Was it
was
like
probably
seed top?
It was probably 6 inches high.
6 inches.
Yeah, it was.
6 inches.
Yeah, this ain't gonna fly.
Right.
So then they get some sort of a nasty gram, and then I guess maybe they send somebody out with a bush hog. and
So I live
knocked
in
it
the
down.
hinterlands of Indianapolis where you can report them, but they're not going to come out. They're not going to threaten to charge you for mowing your own grass until it gets like beyond seed top. Like if they have to bring in the bush hog or a harvester to do it, that's when the Indy starts caring. Because we do have neighbors in our neighborhood that are like that too.
Yeah, well, this was just someone that didn't care. It was low on the priority list of things to do. I'm not sure what high on their priority list was, but grass cutting was not one of them.
Okay.
So
Do you see them often? Do they wave? Are
they're
they friendly?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Long gone.
Lawn gone?
Long
Oh, okay.
gone.
All right.
Not lawn gone. No, they paved
That'd be a
it.
good name for a
They
place.
paved it.
Did they?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, because I would have put in crushed limestone.
There you go.
You know, just to piss you off.
Yeah.
They turned their whole yard into crushed limestone.
No way, man.
Put one of those fake pilings in there too, right down by the mailbox.
Yeah, if you can get one out of the trash can, out of the trash bag.
Hey, that's good trash. You know, those guys come around our neighborhood too. The guys
Oh,
who
the
look at,
gypsies
yeah,
looking for garbage.
yes.
Another business model that you really can't quite figure out. You sit around. You know what we could do? We could get this Sanford and Son pickup truck.
Right.
And we
It
could-
always looks like
and
that.
drive around looking for trash. It's interesting because, you know, you see so many weirdo things sitting out by the trash. Of course, they do have the special pickups, but
Yeah, right.
I think people
Once
just
a month.
think that if it's out there, they're going to take it. And, you know, because when we walk the dog, we go through these neighborhoods. And you see there's this lamp that's been there for like 2 weeks. It's like, okay, figure it out. They didn't miss it.
The lamp is hidden in the 6-inch grass.